me voy a mutear para que no te hagas, güey.
This sounds like your dream.
Hello, everyone. How's it going? How's your evening? Here with Cube Scalps. Gonna spend at least 30 minutes looking at the market overall, so see where we can head out, right? I hope everybody had a good FOMC um, meeting. Nothing. Always sizing down on this date is always a good idea. It's a good, nice uptrend. Let's still gonna give it a few minutes for people to join, but just making sure that my voice over the music is fine. You guys can let me know on chat. I'm watching chat over here. I know there's a little delay, so I have to wait for your answer. Alright, making sure that my mic is fine. Can you check if the sound is fine, Alfonso, or do I need to do something to fix it? Alright, just making sure. Actually, it may not look alright. The color on my screen is a little washed out on the stream. That's what I see, but I'm looking for how to fix it. I may restart the whole Windows, right, to get it working. At the moment, that's what we got. Because on my eyes, it does look darker than this, but it's bearable. So 4,100 in a week. I don't know. I don't know, my friend. I don't know. We gotta take a look at different metrics if to see if it's possible or if it's not. You know, we're gonna see where we're sitting at. FOMC is out of the way, but I will say that the next day is still important because you guys ever heard about the fate of the FOMC or something? Um, it happens all the time, right? There's an FOMC reaction, and the next day is completely erased, right? So that's what we're gonna look at. At the moment, overnight action is gonna be very interesting, right? This is when the overnight starts right here. And if the overnight, let's say by tomorrow, we open very low compared to whatever happened right here, all the longs that start building up their positions around this area, they're gonna be in a lot of trouble, and then we're gonna be looking into more selling activity, right? But if the uptrend is intact, if we have a an overnight session that's very calm and we don't drop that much and we end up higher, we end up on the upper third of the range, then we can have continuation. So without further ado, we're gonna take a look at the daily on this thing. So you guys see, I clear all my lines, and I want your honest opinion, right? That if this is good to look at right here, or if it's better to look at it on, let me see, before, hold on, let me change this real quick. All right. Or let me know if this looks better. We have the EMAs. It's just that I just want to know your opinion, if it's any bother, having the background with the volume and all that. We don't necessarily look at volume that much, but um, I keep the other one over here just in case. But if it's any bother, let me know the grade and everything, and I'll start changing. But as for now, this is how I work. So we're gonna take a look at this, like I said, on a daily time frame as for now to see where we can go and see where we're sitting at. And just want to point out that this major downtrend that we see right here has been broken out. and has been confirmed. This is like the first thing that happened that's very bullish out of today, right? You notice this trend line right here off of this highs is very bullish. I would say very bullish. If any, the other days we have had rejections below it, right? We had a cross above it and then a close below it, and still rejecting below it. But this is a full confirmation. This is a daily candle. Next confirmation for it to go will be basically a weekly candle, right? A weekly candle above it, then we can see more continuation to the upside. As for now, let's say if you take a look at this on a weekly perspective, take a look at this from the all-time highs. Once you place this high, you place another lower high, equal high, a little bit of a tag, but no equal high, a lower high. So reality for the market to go up intensively, which will be a lot of points away, would be like a higher high, right? So once it breaks this high and candle confirms a high instead of being an equal high or so. So that will be the indications on the weekly, but let's not go too far. Just as for now, this downtrend has been confirmed on the daily. And we obviously have this other downtrend from all-time highs that later on, I mean, we're not going to worry about anything like this for now. We just want to know what's going to happen tomorrow, right? So, let me see. It says if you expect the SPY, everyone will be buying puts, so I think we're RIP plus ripping will present inside one, which we currently have. We'll see. Tomorrow was that tomorrow. We only have a couple of days left on the month, so we're gonna have a monthly candle to analyze soon, right? Um, Currently, we have the inside month, like you said. So I highly doubt that we break an extreme of the month uh, in 2 days, right? It'll be crazy, but we'll keep it in mind. That'll be crazy to go for. It'll be 4,200, right? Reaching 4,200 at the by Friday. But good observation, good observation. And it will be path to lead resistance. If you look at the monthly candle, we're actually this is the middle. We're up above, right? We're at the high, so path to lead resistance will be right here. But at the end of the day, most likely we end up with an inside month, right, on Friday. And it'll be nice to maybe play an inside candle for on the monthly. Maybe we get a monthly breakout and we go on that direction, right? It'll be crazy. So I'm gonna start putting all my money on ZLAT. It's not that you said it right. Or Friday is 4,100 calls for Friday, and then if we hit 4,200, I'll be 100 points in the money, Minati. So so let's go to the daily, back to the daily, right? Okay. So we do have a downtrend that we're not gonna worry about it actually. Just gonna be objectively speaking about this candle right here. What is this candle breaking? What is this candle doing, right? So this candle right here about this highs have actually closed about this very this prior high. So it's making, as of the daily, it's making a higher high of this. So it's holding the option, right? After making this high, higher low, a lower high though, and a lower low. This was basically almost like a trap, like a change of downtrend that didn't go anywhere, and it's still being to the uptrend like this. So as of now, the overnight is kind of holding this high right here. We're just gonna go. I wanted to show you guys on the Fibonacci perspective, what does this represent? Which I had a little bit of trouble, by the way, identifying if this was a good low or not, because from this low to this high, this thing based only off above the 32 retracement, so wasn't a good bottom for me to take or anything like that. I was looking for something about the 50% or so. But if you have anchored somewhere around like this bottom right here, if you take like this was a downtrend and then the uptrend to this high, you could basically get the 50% retracement right here. So it's all about perspective, right? It's this kind of candle placed a low right here and then go up instead of taking this low. So this could very well mean the 50% retracement. But if I go to the Qs, if I go to the NQ right here, um, which we have a break of a downtrend right here. We have some major resistance at this level right here. And what we have right here is this equal high right here. If you notice, we ended up, sometimes the answer is in the Qs. I keep saying that all the time, but if you notice, the top of the today's candle is the top of this candle. So by no means this has the Qs have placed a higher high. By no means. So the Qs have shown a little bit of weakness or no breakout whatsoever yet, technical speaking, right here. You know. So on the FIBO perspective, though, if you had taken this low to this high, we have seen like, and if you notice this low right here from this uptrend, we have bounced off the 50% retracement. So that's a very bullish indication right here. Hold of the 20 EMA on the daily and hold of the 50% retracement. So as of now, like this, it's basically what you would call a bull flag into the 50 and then a break of the downtrend right here into the equal high. So right now it's kind of double topping right here. So for the Qs to represent a more for tech to represent more upside, we'll have to see some candle close about this right here. Right here will be nice, some candle closure right here. But it hasn't done it. And that is different from the SPY, from ES. You can see if you take a FIBO retracement off of this low right here, like the other time, we did cross the 61A, so it's not very like I say, it was showing weakness. It was probably at the 78 right here. It's probably almost got there, but he held at 20 and it closed. And he most importantly, it closed about the 61A and it closed about the 20. So bullish indication right there, right? That's bullish right there. I do see a little bit of maybe weakness on maybe a little bit of weakness off of this highs right here. If you notice this, once we hit this highs right here on our side, we have a small bearish divergence, right? Because as we're pointing down right here, we're actually equal highs right here, right? So we got equal highs at that level while we're pointing down the other side. But I would say there's a very small divergence. You would like to see the Qs make a higher high and it still does make a lower high. You know, it will show it more, more of it. So, and obviously we have more earnings to come. So we have Apple and Amazon, Roku, and other chip makers and everything. You know, so that's what we got. That's what we got right here. Uh, I wanted to point out on the cash session, how does it look? Because this is on the future session and we'll have some overnight peaks, some overnight lows and whatnot, right? So we're gonna head over to the Qs only that will show us, or that you can choose the NDX or so. So as of this moment, if you notice, once we break this we made this low, we have basically kind of looking like this downtrend, and then once you hold the last low of the downtrend after the deeper low, kind of holding it right here and holding it right here, you're changing directions, right? So you're going like on this downtrend, and you're now going up this uptrend. And I know it's easy to say at the moment because it's in hindsight, right? But it's just to keep it in mind that uh, to have the bias that is needed, right? Even though that the bias is up at the moment, there's can still be red candles, right? Like these 3 days, you don't want to get caught being long on these 3 days, even though the option is clear right here, because there will be pullbacks, there'll be entries, and there'll be upside, right? Nothing's gonna go straight forward to one point. So this equal high, it's I was paying a little bit of attention to it. That it's basically the middle of the range of this very, very congestion box, right? So This is what we call a balance area that ended up breaking to the downside, or what we will call also an overhead supply. So a lot of the people that are long into that were longing into positions, remember that we spent quite some days into this, that are broke down and they're probably holding. They'll look to sell right here. So this until this is clear on the right side, we're probably gonna see a little bit of more volatility or sell side or some selling pressure, right? But the buying pressure will come in once you break out, right? Because of people that go sell their break even or they see they broke even this high, it's gonna cause, the market is driven by FOMO and greed. So they and higher prices attract buyers. So that's what it means, right? So once you're like clear this area, more buyers will come in, and then we can see more upward movement. But as of now, let's keep in mind that we have an equal high right here. Very important, very important. All right. So let's go to cash session right here on the SPY. Oh, and by the way, this low today at the 50, beautiful low, beautiful low. So we'll look at the SPY right here. Cash session only, like I said, and we can see same picture. By the way, same picture. We have this high, and then we broke this other high, but the congestion is still way higher over here, if you notice. So so we are not even in the middle of that congestion. So it's weird, right? Like if you look at the SPY, I'm sorry, the Qs. If you look at the Qs, it does have deeper pullbacks, like I said, into like the from this low to this high to the 50%, right? Retracement. But at the same time, it's going even stronger to the upside at this congestion. So it's something to watch for because it went lower year to date. It had a deeper 52-week low than compared to the SPY, right? But just for to understand positioning, we still have this overhead supply above us, right? So it's gonna be if we tag this low, let's say if we pull in tomorrow and the market still has more juice to the upside, this will be one of the main targets that I have right here. So let's take a look at the futures because we love to trade futures and we love our futures on levels and futures. So if we end up breaking to the upside, then I'll be looking at somewhat this level, which is 4,071.50, right? It will be one of my main levels, and I'll treat it as a zone because we have a little bit of a deeper low on of right here, right? So I will classify this as a slightly small low right here. And let's see. So if the market bulls on tomorrow, let's say that you open, this is the range, right, that we have on the day. This is the middle. This is if we open, let's say on the upper third range right here, and we ended up bulling, today's close is a target. Basically this high and this today's close is a target, and then today's high is a target, and then you will head for this minor resistance, and main resistance will be 40,071.50. And just because we will be looking at this bottom of the congestion. Now if we end up getting some better retracements, then I will look for something like what happened on the day. Like if the day really doesn't look bullish and we start trending lower, or we make some kind of retracement, I'll be looking into some of the bullseye retracements, right? Some resistances at the 32, at the 50%, or the 618 from this low, from prior day low into this high on today's high. So that's what I'll be looking for. So some keynotes to have, right? Because if you think about it, so the market can place a higher low, you have to be picked up at somewhere off of these levels, you know. Something to watch out for tomorrow. Now, volume point of control on the day is way deeper over here. So we spent a lot of time right here, and sometimes the market likes to test those high volume knots right here, right? So those high volume knots all the way over here. So there's a chance that we can actually drop into this high volume knot right here. so it can be tested, right? And if you take the FIBO that we had from this low right here into this high, we'll be basically tagging the top of this box at the 50% retracement on the of this move up, right? So if we start breaking lower, this will be a target for the downside, which is 39.80. 39.80. Be good to so write it, put it on your charts, and let's move on. All right. 39.80 will be an area. And I like it actually for the downside. So I'm just gonna put it right here. Just doing a little bit of quick improvising analysis, see what Cubito's looking at. So it's 39.80. Just gonna put a 50% retracement bull. All right, right. All right. It just makes sense. It just makes sense. It will be at even says 50% retracement bull. It says bull run on the right, but it will be our target for the downside. If it goes deeper, then I'll aim for the trend line retest, right? Because it broke out of the trend line, it confirmed, but it could basically start drifting lower into this trend line right here. So that's what we got. And on the NQs, I don't know if you guys trade the NQs, and it's very fun, by the way. Same idea. Same idea. Same idea. Main resistance to go for if it starts bulling on, it will be this right here, the top of the range area that we have right here. And if it starts having a pullback, I'll be looking at this 50% retracement for the bear side right here. I mean for the bull side. Um, and if it starts going lower, then I aim for the 61A, and if it starts going lower, then I aim for the low, right? So that's a indication right there. Just gonna put right here. And this is important to note because I'll show you why. Sometimes sometimes when the market has this um, even even an impulse candle that you don't have retracements yet somewhere, the low of the next candle, even though the uptrend is still intact, hear me out, you'll still represent some kind of retracement, right? So let's say that you had this anchor right here at this low right here, and then you were looking to actually I think it's better on the spy because it was very clean. I think I saw it happens a lot, right? That the you're looking for the next level to where the market can bull on, right? So I'm just taking into account this candle into this candle high, even though the uptrend is still resuming. Once it pulls the low, it pulls the low into the 32 retracement and then continues on, right? So it's something to look for, right? That it can still be played out right here. So between this candle low and to this candle high can be a retracement boom and then continue. Still have a green candle, continue upward, just pull back into the 50% retracement or the 38.2, whichever you want to use. Like I said, right here, pull back into this and bull on, pull back into this and bull on. And I favor mostly the 50%, but it's just because of the high volume node and the point of control, right? And some people know about, I mean, if you have questions about why we're looking at the point of control the prior day and all that, let me know. And about today's action, we're just gonna take a look at this on the on internals perspective to see if we have a little bit of confirmation of what the move happened, right? Because sometimes it'll happen and the rest of the market won't agree to it, right? So what we have right now is basically a uh, what we have. All the sectors are green and very green, very green. I have some sectors right here that are not part of the S&P, which is like Jets or XHB or SMH are not part of the S&P, but But I'll just keep it on my side watches. But everything else was very green. Everything, including those, right? The whole market was super green. Everything was pushing up. Everybody was in the party of calls, right? So we're just gonna take a look at individually every sector. Actually, first off, a little bit of internals to see if the action was confirming. We have the SPX right here on the left. We have the tick right here on the middle, and we have the everything else right here. So we ended up with closing the bread at 5.99 to 1 on the NYSE and a 6.42 to 1 on the Nasdaq. That's very bullish. Very bullish. Nothing neutral about it. Very bullish. ADS-PD and ADD went into the extremes. You see about 2,000 levels on the ADD is very extreme. Is very extreme. Now ADS-PD was lacking some action, I will say, because days like this, you would have seen it some very close to the 500, like the 490, 480 area right here, and we did not make it that high. So I was looking at this and thinking that there's 100, there's 95 stocks out there inside the S&P that are not uh, looking that great, right? Looking that great. Now, I don't show you my full VIX chart right here at the moment, um, but we have to take into consideration right here that when the market was pushing up right here, we saw a ton of drop of volatility at this moment, right? After the statement was on. So a ton of VIX was sold right here, was sold right here. But if you notice, the VIX face did not reacted anymore to this upside. So there's a little bit of divergence right here. I have not find a good edge using volatility because it has been a little bit of a mixed bag. You know, it's a little bit confusing or a little bit hard to use. But we have a little bit of divergence. We have a little bit of divergence. You just notice VIX is holding while the SPY was going higher right here, and we held the 23 level. I did not draw this level right here today. It's a level that those purple levels I keep them for a lot of reference points. You know, I just have a ton of levels on the VIX if you notice. Uh, but at the moment, like we are holding this very important one, and I'll take a look at it later on the daily to see where are we sitting at on that end. The VVIX is sitting at very low extremes. In fact, there's very little fear in the market. There's very little put buying, very little big calls buying on the market. Um, it's super low. It's making new lows every day. So I mean, just to keep that in mind, that if there's any real downside, if there's any market crash, which I'm not saying there will be, I'm just saying that if there's any in the future, the market is very unprepared for it. Not prepared at all. The market is just not carrying and not loading on any kind of volatility products, right? So we got that in mind. Does that mean that the market can super go down? I don't know. I don't know. I just know that the market is not prepared for something like this. So not a bad hedge to buy VIX calls probably or VIX spreads, you know, for the foreseeable future. So it's important to note. Now, during the intraday action, VIX actually VVIX went actually a little bit at the close went up, and it kind of lines up with this little downlick that we have on the SPX, but it's all right. It's still good. If you could get to top of that supply zone, looking at December VIX, okay, Minande, nice observation. So another thing that I want to point out is that the dollar index was looking so bullish today. This candle right here was actually green up to this right here. It was actually like bulling on right here. So it was basically we were basically made this leg up on the daily, moved down, and it was already basing off of this low right here, right? and looking to make another leg up right here. But look at the candle. It's so it moved all the way down, and guess when it happened? Just guess when it happened. Not even on the statement. It came on the back of the here in JPOW, right? On the speech. So uh, no, actually the statement is right here. I'm sorry, the statement is right here. Look at the SPX line right here. I'm sorry, the statement is right here. So it dropped a little, and then once the speech came out, boom, boom, chakalaka right here, all the way down. So, like I said, it was pointing upward most of the session, and it was looking like a very green candle, looking upward, looking to make the next leg up, and then and the dollar index going higher is just not good news for the market. But let's look at this objectively. So it's almost, if it breaks this support, I wouldn't be that celebrating that early that the VIX is breaking down, because you still have this high right here to break lower. So you break this high lower, and you can basically think about a little more downside, but it still wouldn't be out of the water. Why? Because the dollar index was on making higher lows and still making legs up, and to make a lower low, you still have to drop below this low right here, right? You still, to make a lower low and change trends, you still have to make this lower low. But as of now, we see a little bit of a bearish indication on the dollar index, which will be bullish indication on the market. And maybe it's time to look for some gold upside. Who knows? I'll start looking into it. Uh, like I said, ADSPD, trend is not on any extremes. Remember, below zero point 0.5 is extreme, above 1.5 is extreme, so nothing to look at that moment. So that's how we got an internal sign on the tick. It was all over the place. Um, I will say that nobody's rushing to buy the market. This is a lot of shorts getting stopped out. I will say this is a lot of shorts getting stopped out. This tick action, having the tick constantly about the thousands, 1100s, 1200s. It's very it's very it tells a story that if uh, if people were short into FOMC and into earnings and all that, they were putting the stops probably about this candle highs, about this candle high, and once it breach, it's a short squeeze, baby, short squeeze to the upside, and that's what eventually happened. Very very short squeezy action. So I'm just gonna do a quick overview of the sectors to see where we at the moment. Um, let's look at XLF. XLF at the moment, we're looking still inside this consolidation pattern. There's still this gap to fill. XLF breaking to the upside can be looking very good to fill this gap, at least to the half of it, at least to the middle of the range. That'll be a good idea. So we have increasing volume off of this day. So a little more upside, a little more bullishness on XLF, and we can see more upside on the banks, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and whatnot, right? Energy, XLE. We're getting squished a little bit below the 50 EMA. If you notice, that's the top of today's candle. The is still considered an uptrend right here. We Any downside, you will have to see it below this trend line right here, and essentially, I will say above the 50 EMA, I will look for this candle high, so a little bit of upside. If we break the 50 EMA, a little bit of upside in energy names, Oxy, CVX, XOM, and whatnot. Except XLP. XLP did make a breakout today. Did break out. So this was something that I was looking for, and a little bit of damage of because this had already broken. This was like a what you will call a balance area or a magic box, and this day had broken out of it. Now this next day looked like it was gonna go back into range, and I think it's one of those situations where the market had those Walmart news, so it was very it broke the, well, you will say the structure or the balance or the breakout zone, right? Because XLP was looking to go more upside. So names like I said, Walmart or Costco or WBA, PG, Waste Management, all those names. You look at those charts, they'll have some kind of bullish setup right there at the moment. Um, XLU, utilities. Looking at utilities, there's not a lot to say. We have not an inside candle, I'm sorry. We just have a little bit of an uptrend right here. There's not a lot going on. It broke this downtrend, but not a lot going on. So I wouldn't really put any energy into this on utilities. It's very lightweighted sector anyway. Excel XLI. So super important, guys. We have a gap to fill and we have tagged the gap. So what is the market gonna do this time? Is it gonna just tag the gap and reject and later on consolidate to later on fill it? Or is the market gonna fill this gap soon coming up on this break, right? Because we have this bull flag break and whatnot. Um, so maybe worth putting on your watch list, worth noting a little bit of industrial names. Triple M, Boeing, Honeywell, and so on, right? Some are good industrial names right here because we have a gap to fill right here, and that's if it's gonna do it. The top of a rejection, the bottom of the gap is, it tells you something, right? It tells you that it's not ready to fill it yet. But once you're in, you're probably in, right? You're in for the ride. Technology, it's just like looking at the cues, same idea. Uh, it was very bullish that the market gapped up and it held above prior days open. So that was very bullish. That's something to note for an XLK. Materials right here. So materials have made some is still holding above the 20, has a little bit of room into the 50, into this resistance. Not a lot going on since we're still looking at this as probably like a bounce area or like a consolidation magic box type of area. So I will say that above this candle high, above the 50, then you'll start seeing a little bit more uptrend, and then you have plenty of gap fills to go for. There's a ton of names that have a lot of potential on materials, even though materials are a very lightweight sector. If the sector runs, we better be in it, right? Materials can serve some good upside. Consumer discretionary had a gap down right here. I think it was in the back of Walmart. Tesla, I believe. I don't know if Tesla sold off. I mean, Tesla has been bullish, but Target took this down. Target took this down. So fill the gap is still in a lower high. Is still on top of this like I said, supply zone. So this one made it sooner to the supply zone right here, but it's rejecting the top of it. So major buyers or we'll look at this XLY about this levels right here. So this will be very bullish if it manages to go above this. As of now, we'll look at this uptrend break of it for some downtrend right here. So we have to see where it goes, right below this or above this. Um, we have a little bit of bullishness, unable to go down on the real estate sector, XLRE, right here. Still below the consolidation area, so it hasn't gone to those areas yet. I will say that it has room up to these levels right here. Nothing too much, and we don't really trade that. SMH semiconductors, a little bit of more bullseye than the Qs because it made a new high right here, but it's still below the consolidation. If anything, it looks like the SPY. It's semiconductors and communications. So Meta is gonna do a little bit of damage into this tomorrow if it doesn't recover. We'll see. Microsoft managed to recover, and we'll see if Meta has anything to say right there. So we have that going on. Communications, like I say, above below the 50 is still making a lower high at the, well, not we don't know if it's a high yet until there's a red candle next to it, but if it doesn't manage to go higher, it'll be a lower high, and it'll leave this looking like a balance area right here, which where we have a look above. a retest of the balance area high and probably a retest of the balance area low if this is gonna break lower. If it's gonna bull on, then we're gonna have a nice option, right? Because it bounced around 50% of the balance area right here. So I have to keep a watch of about this level. See if it manages to break again to the upside right here. But meta is gonna be important on that decision. Jets, if you're looking at airlines, so like I said, I just look at it once in a while. Nothing to look for. It's still a lower high, can still make a leg down off of this. This is actually a good FIBO. This is a good level to short for a next leg down if it's gonna do it, or why not, right? Last but not least, I have home builders. Just if you're trading Home Depot or whatnot, but there's nothing to say right here. Same idea, consolidation area, supply zone, very heavy and whatnot. Um, I ask you, Alfonso, why we haven't charts and chat. So it's Wednesday. We might do something tomorrow for Lotto Friday, but at least we know what the look of the sectors is at right now. So the main takeaways from this that I take myself is the XLP breakout, the XLF near breakout, and communications to see what Meta does in into this balance area. Um, Healthcare sector is also looking a little bullish right here. So let's see what it goes up right there. That's what I got going on. No setups for tomorrow. I'll do some homework tonight, but most likely we have some post FOMC reaction. Like I said, let's look at see on what area of the range from the FOMC we're gonna end up at. Any questions or any suggestions or anything for me, guys, that you guys want to talk about besides Alfonso making fun of me? All right. You know, I wanted to see what do you think of the S&P futures ETF? I just talk about it, Minali. I just talk about it all the whole. I just go back to the video and watch the beginning, my friend. um, the just want to point out that we almost hit the expected move to the upside on SPX. So we can even though this is for the week, even though um, it looked like very crazy upside, we're still within range of expected moves. We're still good, you know. So anything to add, Alfonso? Hold on, let me up the volume. Let me up the volume for you.
I have three
Hold on. Give me 1 second.
all right. I can sing in the
All right,
meantime. But I have
right there.
I have three potentials breakouts that I would like you to see for tomorrow. The first one SEDG SEDG.
All right. He reached one of the targets. I mean, yes, the move, and this is in the back of what? Because he didn't even have earnings. He had a gap up,
Yeah,
break of console, big resistance area into the next one right here. I don't even know how I have the line, but
we have
looking at
played it
this.
before because I do have levels on that one,
Yeah,
and
yeah, I
it
probably
looks.
erased them, but
I mean,
I will say that if it continues higher, I will take this. If you notice this low, this highs right here, I will probably take a look at this
yeah,
level.
339.78. I have the next level there. So looks great. I mean, nice pop in volume. I mean, everything pop in volume today, but this one, it's a pure breakout from the previous high there, the 314.63. So I will set an alert on over 326, more or less, and we have some room to 339. So there's some room there. I like that.
Yeah.
Another one, similar to this one, ADP.
Well, huge candle.
Mhm. Huge candle, huge.
Oh, this is from earnings, right? Yeah, it had earnings.
This is from
Oh,
earnings.
and you love to play earnings. How come we didn't play this one
Uh,
today?
I don't know. I totally. But it was beautiful. I mean, it was nonstop since the open. I mean, had a great open today,
You had
and
to.
continuation until the end of days. I mean, it opened I mean, the open and the close was high to low.
I mean,
I mean, low to high.
if I was trading this in the morning and let's say that I was looking to see, let's see if the earnings are bullish, and I'm looking at this chart like, okay, this is my target, so I'm gonna take something that can reach that level. So the 225 calls, I just wanna
Yeah,
see what they were at the open,
I
just to do
I
some
I
harakiri
I don't know if you can. Yes. Yeah.
right
Yeah. You
here.
can see it.
So we could have got the 225 calls $1.16 or yeah, $1.50, $1.60, and notice there was
Yeah.
a ton of buying right here. This is a volume
Yeah.
of, well, not a ton, 139, and this is volume of 119. So they probably bought them right here and sold them around this area, which is a lot of gains, right? You could have made from $1.50 um, all the way to, if you held into the close, right, 960. That's
Oh, it's huge. So
I'm
so
sorry, let
this
me
one
see.
is either wait. I mean, it's gonna be mega extended tomorrow, but either
It's a
wait for.
500% gainer.
Yeah,
Damn, we missed that.
we
Um,
missed that. But okay. But I mean,
that's cool. That's
we
cool.
we c- I mean, we have to see how it reacts tomorrow, because either, I mean, if it's too extended, we can also short it, but it's you don't see that type of candles very often.
So the 240 is kind of reachable looking at this chart, right? The 240 right here, this peak. If it's gonna
Hmm.
continue higher, the 240 is reachable, and the 240 calls at the moment are between bid 5 cents and ask 40 cents, but it'll be some kind of a lotto-ish trade, you know.
Yeah,
But if it
and
goes, it'll pay.
the last one, which is not as like this one, but this has potential for a breakout, more than a breakout that already happened, is a AMGN.
AMGN. All right, an outside candle right here. Breakout potential, similar setups of the others. Not too far from the 20. Let me see on the weekly because it has a ton of wicks. Okay, I can see the levels clearly. Super top right here and super level right here, which already broke.
Yeah, you can see it already broke the triangle that I had there.
Yeah, it
If you,
has.
it's broken already to the downtrend.
Yeah,
I
this right
mean,
here.
if yeah, if you exclude the today's candle, it's broken. So
Yeah, this right here. So
yeah,
I mean, it broke this. That's clear. Tagged already. Retest.
beautiful.
So it can go
Beautiful.
higher. Like I said, I will obviously this prior day's high is always a a major level, and mega major level will be this right here.
Yes,
Yeah, well, actually, just
sir.
to 57.30 just to be conservative because I know the high goes a little higher, but this we have a little high right here. We have these levels right here. Can easily go. Are the options good?
Yeah. So
Oh yeah,
those three, I think that
250,
they're very
250s.
very nice for tomorrow, so we can put
I
on the watch
I
our
like this.
side.
Look at the 250, 250s are
Mm.
114 to 150 cents, and it can clearly get there because looking at these candles, let's take this one for example, this range
Yeah,
that
the
it
average
has,
to the range for the past days is $4 for this one.
so they
So
can easily get there, to 250, 250s. We can get like a few points in the money right here. So
yep.
watching it for tomorrow. Very low IV, 20%. Oh, you love to see that. Mm.
Yeah. And not
What is this?
really.
What is this
The
sector?
ETF is the same as the futures. I mean, there's not much. I mean,
What
whatever
is
it was mentioned.
what is
What
AMGN?
Amgen is bio.
Is biotech?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Health. I mean healthcare.
Is healthcare? Okay,
Healthcare.
if it's
Yeah.
healthcare, I like it even more because, like I
The
said,
SEDG is technology, ADP is industrials, and AMGN is healthcare. So
okay,
we have a nice cocktail there of different sectors. So that's what I have there. I think that it's. I mean, besides the ones that I post that I showed today in the video in the
yeah, it's
trade
right.
ideas, those trade ideas were more like inside candles, and these three are breakouts. So let's rock and roll with them tomorrow. But I think that they are. I like the three of them because of they have weekly contracts.
I like this one better. AMGN.
Right.
It's gonna be main
A-
watch.
AMGN has a lot of liquidity. It's not a. I mean, it's a decent sized company. So and it's been having a lot of range for a while, and now it's we the last two candles, the today and yesterday candles were interesting.
Yeah.
Were wide and out of the range, so it's ready to break out there. And we do have some range to the upside, so that's what I have.
All right. That's good analysis. Alfonso didn't get to hear any of it, but we know where
No,
we
no,
at.
no. I had my headphones. I did it, but I told you that I was not able to
To
talk.
be okay.
Yes. Yeah. No. No. No.
All right.
I did hear all your sectors.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Yeah.
main important thing is where the cues are sitting at on the SPY, and we'll go from
Yep.
there. All right, guys.
Yeah.
See you tomorrow.
Alrighty, guys. See you tomorrow. Nice. Thank you for joining us. And if you haven't seen the video for the trade ideas, it's already posted here in the YouTube channel as well for the VIP members, and all members are posted in the LKS server. See you tomorrow.
See
Adios.
you tomorrow, everyone. Take care. Hasta luego.